Hey there, and welcome. Especially if you are new to this channel, I want to give a special welcome to you. I'm glad that you're here. This is Living in Colorado, where we talk about life in Colorado. I focus a lot in the Denver area since that's where I currently live, and we talk a lot about real estate since that's what I do. So again, thank you so much for being here. I'm your host, Daryl Vaughn, Colorado Realtor. And today, what we're going to talk about is why is Denver so freaking popular? Now, for the last decade or so, Denver has been one of the most popular places to relocate to from other states. So in this video, we're going to take a look at why it is so many people from around the US are flocking to Denver. Let's dive in. Well, one of the reasons is jobs. A lot of big companies have began to move their headquarters here to Denver. So we have tech industry, food and agriculture industry, hospitality. There are so many industries here in the state of Colorado and specifically near and around Denver that are thriving. Also because Denver is a huge travel hub because of the geographical location of the Denver International Airport, there are tons of hospitality opportunities here as well. Also, due to its central location, a lot of businesses are moving their warehousing and logistical operations here to Denver for its order processing operations. So a lot of job opportunities here in Denver, and also it's a great place to start your own business because Denverites love supporting local businesses. So a lot of people in the last decade moved here to Denver in hopes of pursuing their dreams of starting their own business. All right, another reason, as I like to say, Denver is city, but not too city. You know, there's a lot of people who have these romantic ideas about living in the big city, but they don't want to bite off more than they can chew. The big city can be quite overwhelming, and what's nice about Denver is that you have the big city feel. However, it's not so massive like a city like New York, Chicago, or Los Angeles. The population of Denver is only about 710,000, which makes it relatively small. Also, for a city, we don't have a lot of trouble with parking, and also parking is not expensive. In addition, it's one of the safest large U.S. cities in the nation, so we don't have to deal a lot with violent crime. While I will admit there is some petty theft and stuff like that, might get your backpack stolen or things like that. It is substantially worse in some of the larger U.S. cities here. And while it remains to be one of the smaller U.S. Large cities, it still has, all the cool stuff like the stadiums. We got great sports teams here, Major League Sports like the Rockies, the Avalanche, as well as the Nuggets, and we've got Mile High Stadium where the Broncos play. Not too far away, and we've got great bars, dining, and nightlife here, and it's all walkable. So what I'm saying is that basically, if you want to live in the city and not be too overwhelmed, Denver is great because you get all the big city vibes without a lot of the downsides that cities like LA and New York struggle with. So it's a cool place to live. All right, another is access to outdoor activities. Probably the most cited reason I hear people telling me that they moved to Denver was because they wanted to live in a city yet have access to the great outdoors. And Denver is very uniquely positioned, whereas you have a large American city with all the amenities the city has to offer, while a half an hour drive will put you in the mountains. People love that about Denver. You get best of both worlds. You get the busyness and the excitement of the city, nightlife, and then you can wake up early in the morning and go on the hike and feel like you're absolutely in the middle of God's country, and it is great. Next, it's affordable. Now, Over the last decade, this has become less and less true. But I wanted to point this out because the reason Denver became so popular with people from cities like Los Angeles, San Francisco, New York, and Chicago is because at that time it was a more affordable option. And now, since so many people have flocked to the Denver area, we have seen housing costs absolutely skyrocket. So it is no longer safe to say that Denver is a value option for the majority of people wanting to relocate it from other states. I will still say that if you are coming from some place like New York City, San Francisco, or Los Angeles, you probably will find Denver to be a more affordable city. But truly, the days of Denver being considered a value option, I think those days are done. Okay, another reason people have been moving to Denver is because of the friendly people. Now, while Denver is a big city, it has a very hospitable Midwest sort of vibe, and I, over the years, have taken several trips to Denver, and it always struck me how friendly the people were. When you're walking on the street, people smile and nod, they say hi. When you're in a bar, it is just so easy to strike up conversation with people. The people here in Denver are just great, outgoing, friendly, and so that's another appealing thing about Denver, is that here you are in a big city where it would be very easy to just, keep your head down and walk along the street and not say anything, but people are just outgoing, friendly here in Denver, and I think that's a very appealing and well-liked fact about it. Next is the culture and the arts. And a lot of times when people think of Denver, they don't think it's the most artsy or cultured place. Oftentimes, cities like LA and New York are credited with that type of thing, but in fact, Denver has a lot going on in the arts. There's tons of live entertainment, and might I mention again that Red Rocks Amphitheater is here, and it's the best music venue on the entire planet. We've got all kinds of museums, comedy shows. We've got one of the biggest performing art centers in the nation, if not the world. So Denver really does prioritize the arts, and there is plenty of culture here that has been going on for quite some time. We also have the Five Points neighborhood in Denver, which is once considered the Harlem of the West. That's where famous jazz musicians on a stopover cross country would stop to perform. So Denver has for a long time been a hotspot for the arts, and there is a lot of culture. There is tons to do here. You will never be bored in the city of Denver. Another reason people have been moving to Denver for the last decade is because of its focus on health and wellness. Now, for decades, actually, Denver and the surrounding areas had been considered an oasis for medical treatments. A lot of places around the Denver area were known as tuberculosis asylums. Estes Park was quite famous for being a place that was said to have healing properties. And this kind of theme, I guess, if you want to call it like that, has really been maintained here in the Denver area, because when you go to a park, you will see so many people outside doing activities like running, cycling. Everybody during the spring and summer months is in the park, always being active, and there's always an emphasis on health. Almost every restaurant here has vegan and vegetarian options, and this seems to be a place where it's just very easy to enjoy the outdoors and stay active. So people love that about Denver. There's just so much to do that in your regular course of life, you just end up living a happier and healthier life here in the Mile High City. All right, another reason so many people have moved to Denver over the last decade is because of legal weed. That's right, I'm not going to beat around the bush. Get it? But yes, Colorado was one of the first states to legalize weed for recreational purposes. So this inevitably led people to move here so they could enjoy the consumption of cannabis without facing any terrible repercussions as happens in some other states. So while this is less and less of a motivator now, since plenty of other states are legalizing marijuana for both medical and recreational purposes, and with the possible legalization of psilocybin mushrooms, we might also see another influx here soon to the state of Colorado so that people can live amongst the enlightened. And lastly, we have weather. Now, you may be surprised to hear that people were motivated to move to the mountain state of Colorado because of the weather. But yeah, as a matter of fact, we have pretty great weather year round. Now, while it does snow in Denver, it rarely stays on the ground for more than 2 to 3 days. So while we do get a little bit of snow during the winter months, it's really moderate. We do not have East Coast winters or East Coast humidity, nor do we have Arizona summers. And of course, Denver boasts 300 days of sun, which keeps moods elevated and makes for happier people. If you liked this video and you found any value in it, I would appreciate it if you gave it a thumbs up. Also, I'd be honored if you subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell so that you're alerted every time I come out with new content. And while I love making content like this, what I really love doing is helping people with their real estate journey. So if you're looking to relocate to Colorado, if you want to buy, sell, or invest in the state of Colorado, anywhere in the US or anywhere in the world, my contact information will be in the description as well as at the end of this video. So please feel free to get in touch. I'm Daryl Vaughn, Colorado Realtor. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.